Once in the women's camp, guys get involved with all the girls. Even more surprising is the fact that they even get good at cheerleading. Eventually, the Panthers start to notice that the Tigers are actually much better with Nick and Shun. Later on, Sharon and Carly get to know each other better during a run. After dinner, Nick spots Diora, and he tries to work his magic, but he's not getting anywhere. Shun spends some time with Carly, who is very appreciative of what the guys do for the team. There is a tender moment between them, but Carly's boyfriend shows up and starts eating her face. Rick is only in medical school, but he's so confident he'll graduate that he's already taken the title of doctor. It's amazing that such a smart girl, Carly, is dating this type. The next day, Nick tries to come up with ways he can remember girls' names, but he notices that something is wrong with Shun. After pestering him, Nick can tell that Shun likes Carly. Downey asks him what makes Carly so special, and Shun literally names off random things that Carly does. Brewster and Nick decide that they need to cheer Shun up, and Nick convinces a random cheer squad to train in their underwear in the lake. In the evening, they come to the pond where they have fun. When Nick seduces one of the girls, she tells him that it's not necessary. There are 300 girls and 3 straight guys at the camp, and they all know why they're here. While swimming in the pond at night and making love, they don't notice the raccoon that came for the candy in their clothes. Of course, the little rascal stole Sharon and Nick's clothes. Guys have to run around the camp naked. But this is not the end. In this form, they stumble upon Coach Keith, and he forces them to perform a support dance naked. After such an interesting night, training continues as if nothing had happened. One of the squads tries a forbidden movement. One of the girls almost breaks her face, but they forget about it that night. All of the cheerleaders sit in the yard and watch Bring It On. Sean and Nick go outside to take a leak, and Sharon tells Nick that he doesn't want to pick up girls just for fun anymore. Then they notice Rick and his friends driving up. Rick tells his friends how he has fun with the local girls. Nick and Sean hear this. He also says that he is dating Carly only because his parents approve of her and therefore do not refuse him anything. Nick warns Sean not to tell Carly anything, but when Carly shows up, Sean rushes over to her. While the two of them make cute small talk, Rick shows up and tries to smooth talk Carly. After Rick brings Carly back from their date, he promises to be at the competition coming up, and he leaves with the boys. While he drives with his boys, he tells them that he doesn't like Carly hanging out with Sharon, and he decides that they need to stay to find out more about them. In the morning, Sean goes with Carly to refill the water, and Nick barks up Dior's tree once again. Nick's determination is to be commended. While out with Carly, Sean tries to find out more about Dr. Rick and Carly's history, but she can't even really tell him how she became Rick's girlfriend. The more they talk, the closer they get, and they almost kiss. Week 3 begins, and Nick tells Sean that it's time for them to leave because they got what they wanted. But Sean thinks they need to stick around a little longer. When Nick tells him that they're still going to leave, Sean has a hard decision to make. Nick seems to already know what Sean's decision is though, and he comes back to change for practice. Nick might be a slime ball at times, but he's a great friend. As training continues, Dr. Rick returns to camp. To find out more about Sharon and Nick, Rick asks Brewster some questions. During training, Rick and the others suddenly show up to denounce Sharon and Nick. He shows the squad the bus tickets that they had already bought, and Carly confronts them about it. Sharon tells Carly that they did start out trying to get girls, but now they are part of the squad, and he likes her. Then Rick reads a bit of Nick's diary, and he reads a poem that Nick wrote about Diora. Sean tries to apologize to Carly, but she tells him to just leave. Diora, on the other hand, says it was beautiful and kisses him on the cheek. Afterwards, Nick and Sharon hop on a bus, and they head back home. When they get back in town, they head to the house that the football team's hanging out at, and they watch as the team goes about their usual hijinks. And in the support camp, the Panthers noticed the Tigers had lost their star studs, and Nick and Sean aren't having as much fun with the guys on the soccer team anymore. They miss the girls and practice. Nick and Sean even use the cheer techniques to accomplish everyday things now. The next day, Nick wonders if the squad can win the competition today, and Sharon calls him out for loving cheerleading and the squad. They immediately get on the first bus and strategize about what they need to do to be accepted back on the team. They make their way back to campus, and they sneak in. Carly comes outside to talk to Shun, and the rest of the squad come out to listen to Shun's confessions. The squad convinces Carly to let Nick and Sharon back in, and in the morning they all head out to the yard to get ready. Carly assures Coach Keith that Nick and Shawn are fine for now, and Deorra stops Nick and suggests that he study the anatomy of their bodies tonight. Now the competition starts. All of the teams actually do a pretty good job, but Carly takes a second to talk to Shun. She admits that she thought they were close, and she tells him that she trusted him. Shawn knows he messed up though. Then Deorra shows up and he sweeps up Carly. He tries to act tough to Shawn and Nick, but Carly sends him to the stands to watch. The Panthers perform their routine, and it seems to be flawless. When it's time for the Tigers to perform, they take the stage in their new uniforms. Nick is alarmed that they'll be on TV, but Shawn replies that no one watches that channel anyway.
Hey look, it's Nick on TV cheerleading.
It's Shawn too. You're cheerleading.
Everything seems to be going well, but Carly spots Deorra making out with Gwyneth. After Shawn realizes that Carly sees it, he notices that her confidence falls. He tells her that there's one move that they can do to prove that they are the best. Shawn convinces Carly to perform the forbidden move. No one's actually done it. They actually pull it off, and that was actually really cool, until Shawn backflips into the water around the stage. While he wasn't able to land it, the crowd goes wild, and Nick pulls Shawn out of the water. When Shawn comes to, Carly tells him that they definitely didn't win, but they came in 19th place, which is 10 places better than before. Carly kisses Shawn, and he gets up to keep doing it. Suddenly, Deorra shows up, and Carly puts him in his place so quickly. She dumps him, and she tells him that she's going to be with Sharon now. Rick tries to hit Sharon but hits Nick, and many finally hit him like they wanted to do all along. After he leaves, the Panthers show up to rub everything in, and one of the Tigers girls pinches one of the Panthers.
I want to be a paralegal. I love your hair. Go, 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 go. That bitch is...
When Shawn and Carly are alone, Nick congratulates the two of them, and Sharon thanks Nick for his help. In the evening, Nick meets Deorra in the yard, and they strip down to their underwear. Deorra kisses Nick, and he recites poetry for her. Suddenly, Coach Keith shows up, but Deorra has already gotten away. So Coach Keith thinks that Nick is practicing naked again, and decides to help him. The end.